Right then guys, hello. Now, if you visited the channel lately or look at the name, you'll probably notice that the channel name has now changed to the Apocalypse Chronicles. I'm going to start this off. Things are moving very, very fast and it's hard to keep up with it, but what we'll do now is try and be a little bit more consistent, because this is the way it's happening. Now, years ago, I had a little bout of unemployment after I'd been at college, before I went to work for the employers that I'm at now. And I had a hard time. I really did have a hard time, because I had the budget for everything. And I thought about opening a channel up saying Rich Dad, Poor Dad, starting off from rags, moving to riches. But at the time, I didn't realise there was a book of the same name. Now, I really don't know if Apocalypse Chronicles exists. It probably does somewhere, but this channel is following or me doing vlogs of just coping with life as it is, and see how it slides down the hill, yeah, because things are ever decreasing circles. Okay, so where do we start today? Well, what do we talk about now? Yeah, let's talk about fuel prices, shall we? And fuel shortages, they definitely are here again. Fuel shortages, definitely. Last week, Friday, I'd filled up Thursday. Friday, the secretary in our workplace said, oh, yeah, there's long queues at Tesco's, like there was before. And Sainsbury's, some of the pumps are shut. Right? It's funny, because Sainsbury's is cheaper, yet people go to Tesco's more than they do Sainsbury's. Now, that's a weird one, yeah. Whereas I swung round to Lidl's today to do the morning shopping, to get the food, the meat, and I was at the same time going to fill up, so do all things in one go. I've got to fill up to get to work and back, yeah. And the garage is shut completely, which is unusual. Okay, that's a Tesco's. This, I think, is an indication that, well, what we're going to have to expect. Although I did see a tanker going around the roundabout, I'm thinking, right, okay, you missed the garage, mate. But it is what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? Yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, I was at work yesterday. We had an AGM, annual general meeting, which we have every year, with our managing director and our big boss. And what they do is they come round and they tell us how good the company's doing. And to be honest with you, they are all right people. I can't knock them for what they are trying to do. They are captaining a large ship. Now, there is expansion plans within the group that I work for, and they are the largest DAF dealer in the UK, okay, franchise dealership, okay, and they tell us the inside stuff that we need to know about. And DAF are now whittling down the franchises to about 6 major ones, okay, so we're one of them. I say we, I work for the company, I'm part of it, and I'm part of the team, and they treat me as such, and I'm on first name terms with one of the MDs, yeah, so, you know, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. They do look after us. During the 2008, when there wasn't any work and the downturn was appalling, we had no work whatsoever, they kept us on, because they knew that if we left, they would find it hard to find technicians to replace us, okay? They're still having the same problems. They do tell us the problems or an underlying trends of what's happening. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was the Ukrainian crisis, the humanitarian crisis. And I had thought about this because of the sanctions and commodity shortages and prices going up, okay? So this was a question I was prepared to ask them. What are they doing to prepare for this, or what's happening within the that group? And this was the first thing they talked about. And we have some more shit coming down the line, to be honest with you. In Ukraine, they produce certain automotive products or parts for heavy goods vehicles, critical components, actually, things that do fail. And I can't tell you what they are because of confidentiality. It's not just DAF trucks, it's all of them, okay? They have big problems. They have big problems with parts. So this is going to have a knock-on effect. If trucks can't be repaired, then they will have to stand until they can get the parts, which I'm sure at the end of the day, the company, or we always call it the factory, will have a workaround, and they'll give us bulletins to tell us how to do certain things to get around certain problems. Chip shortages are still there. It's not receding in any way. So lorries off the road means less deliveries. Haulage companies are not able to get new trucks. All the books are shut. Okay, to give you an indication that they're keeping older vehicles longer, which is good from a workshop point of view, because then we have to do more repairs. But that means that the downtime is longer. Deliveries are not going to be made, are they? And workshops are going to be busy. It's a bit like the Second World War, isn't it? Yeah, they kept things going on a wing and a prayer, didn't they? So yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. Now, I feel part of a team when they talk like that, because at least then it motivates you to want to do that little bit extra for the company. But there is a limit, and that is fuel costs and power costs. Yeah, we're all feeling it, aren't we? Okay, so yeah, the other thing I'll talk about is Mariupol again. I'm now looking at the situation there. There's a guy there called Patrick Lancaster, who is an American. He speaks terrible Russian, but the people on the street actually understand him. Now, if you're interested in what the mainstream media are saying and you want to see the other side to see what truths there are, it's worth watching him while his channel's down, because I'm pretty sure they're going to take that off soon. He is doing the Vox Pops, which is the voice of the people. Now, he's talking to real people about real situations and their stories, and they are subtitled, so they're speaking Russian, and he's asking them questions, and you can see the emotion, you can see exactly what it is on the street, rather from the BBC or a mainstream narrative, because that is so skewed, it's unreal. So when you understand what happens, what the people are saying there, then you'll understand that all the other things about war crimes that are pushed instantly on our mainstream narrative, it puts it into question. Okay, so the latest one, which is Bucha near Kiev, I think you know about that, the mass graves or the slaughter of civilians, which are blamed on the Russians. When you watch RT, they already have an answer to it. The Russians have said, well, that isn't us. And I do actually think, from one perspective, that our leaders that have jumped on it so quickly, that are so willing to condemn without an investigation first and to dump more sanctions on it, that's very, very dangerous. That's very impulsive, unless they already have this way of looking at any excuse to ratchet up more tensions. Now, I'm watching Canadian Prepper. He tends to, I think, from what I gather, he watches similar stuff that I do to get intel. Plus, he's also got people that are contacting him on the ground, as it were. And his narrative tends to flow with what I'm thinking. And he's saying, yeah, we're in World War III. Yes, we are. We are in World War III. But economic sanctions, pressure on Russia, running around to get countries against Russia. On the whole, that's warfare, although it's not ground warfare. Now, excuse me. Now, he was talking about NATO being undermanned or very weak compared to the Russians, but I've been following the situation since the Ukrainian Revolution, and the Americans have put tanks in Norway, they've put tanks in Holland, they have massive amounts of military equipment stored up already, just in case something happens, okay? That's for use for NATO, Abrams tanks. Any idiot could drive one of those. But I would say that that's an underestimation of NATO, to be honest with you. All countries are now spending on arms, which is not good. It's not good, because we're going to be going without certain items, especially with Europe, with gas. Okay, they're refusing to pay in rubles. So we'll have to like it or lump it, won't we? We do not have a choice in this. It's their decisions. They're not asking us what to do. They are doing what they want to do, which I think at the end of the day, they've already decided that they will try to defeat Vlad in any way possible, any shape or form, at our cost. Yeah, because we are the ones that will pay for it at the end of the day. Okay, so this is not good. I think that really they have no restraint, which is worrying, which is very, very worrying. Now, going back to Patrick Lancaster's channel, and I'd like to analyse some of the videos that he has done where he's interviewing people, and they've told their stories about how they've survived, what's happened, and how they survived. So I understand Russian very clearly, especially in that town because I lived there. They speak чистый русский, which is clean. It's clean. Some other areas, even in Russia, they mumble a little bit or they use other words, whereas I am used to Mariupolian, if you like, or well, there. Or the Eastern region language in Russian, yes. So what I'll do is I'll rip some of the videos to bits, tell you exactly what they're saying. There are subtitles underneath them, not from the, oh, look, what this and that's happened, but what they're telling, their story about what they've had to do and how they've had to survive. Because I think at the end of the day, when the shit is really down, what do? Okay. Which is interesting, This is... these people are going through something. We're not. We're watching it, which is fortunate for us, yeah. But when you see some of the hardy attitudes of people that are actually there, that are still there at this moment in time, they have real guts. So they've managed to survive, and it's been, what, month and a bit now. So yeah, I'd like to do that. I will do that. I'll rip some of these videos, get some of the information out and tell you. I'll analyse that, which is good. It's better than ripping preppers to bits, to be honest with you, because I know some of them are full of shit. Some of them are all right, you know. I do like them, but as I said before in a video, I've drawn back from that because it's too full on, if you understand what I mean. I'm a Brit. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we'll see what happens when it happens. Yeah, whereas I know the Americans and the Canadians, to an extent, they get a little bit hyper about situations, which is understandable. You know, we're always looking ahead and trying to anticipate what's coming down the pipeline and adjusting strategies to that. Yeah, so I'm not anti these guys. I just sometimes I walk away shaking my head, going, "Oh, face palm." Other times I just laugh my head off. Yeah, but I do keep up to date with what Canadian Prepper's saying, because he summarises the stuff that I watch anyway. Yeah, which is looking at both sides. I have my mother for the BBC. She will tell me exactly what's on the news, and she's 86, so she watches the news all the time, and I know what the narrative is from the Western side, so I don't have to look too hard. Whereas I need to look at the other side as well, to get a full picture. And some of it, yeah, I would say that we are being deceived, or not necessarily deliberately by our mainstream media, but the feed that they're getting, they're being deceived. Yeah. So I'll leave it there. You may disagree with me, which you have a right to. You know, we don't have to throw punches over disagreements. It's just like, okay, you believe that, I believe this, but we'll still get on with shit. Yeah, that's the way it works. So anyway, right, I'll try to do more practical shit rather than just sitting in a car talking, but I've got like 20 minutes actually before I go to work, so what I'll do is I'll chuck this up on YouTube while I'm driving. Yeah, all right, so anyway, stay lucky, everything will be all right at the end of the day. When you feel happy and content inside, it actually radiates out. Yeah, and it affects the people around you, yeah, because people are drawn to that sort of thing, right? Which also is a strategy to help you out of the shit. Yeah, that's just a little tip. I can talk ages about shit like this, but not now. All right. Anyway, see you later. Take it easy.